Okay, so we're done with discussing about the arm and hand signal last meeting, right? So we're done with this, and we also discussed about the leveling methods in determining the differences in horizontal distances. So let's proceed to solving some of these problems. So let's start with this problem 25. In the two-peg test of a dumpy level, the following observations were taken. First, the instrument is set up near A, wherein these observations are recorded. So the reading at point A is 1.505, and the reading at point B is 2.054. Okay, then the instrument is set up near B. The observation at point A, or the reading at point A, is 0.938, and the observation at point B, or the reading at point B, is 1.449. So to illustrate that, that would be this. So we have 2 points with difference in elevation. Let's take this as point A, and this point is point B. Okay, and of course the difference in elevation is this distance from here, from that level to this level. So this is the difference in elevation between the 2 points. Now, sabi dito sa problem, ang tanong is, what is the difference in elevation between A and B? And if the line of sight is not in adjustment, determine the correct rod reading on A with the instrument still set up at B, and then different the error in the line of sight. Okay, so i-ano muna natin, i-illustrate muna natin, or i-drawing. We'll start up with the instrument setup at A. Ito, the rod reading at A, this, until here the A. So this rod reading is 1.505. Then, the rod reading at B, etong rod reading is 2.054. Okay, ganun siya. So, hindi na nakita. Ayan. Now, when the instrument is set up at B, the rod reading at A, so that would be this rod reading, that's 0.938. That means this distance is 0.938, and this distance is, what was it, 1.449. That's 1.449. So these are the rod readings. So if you observe, pwede din naman natin makuha yung rod reading at, or no, the difference in elevation, di ba? Because of course this distance, etong level na to, and this level na to, this distance is the same as this distance, di ba? So that means DE plus 1.505 is equal to, let's zoom that in, 2.054. 2.054. So that means DE is equal to, if we use our calculator, this one, that's 2.054 minus 1.505. The answer is 0.549 meters. So that's the difference in elevation if we base the data on our observation when the instrument is at point A. Now, if we look at the data at point B, ganito yung mangyayari. Of course, we know that this distance is equal to this distance, and that is DE plus 0.938. That's equal to 1.449. Okay, so DE here, when it is set up at B, so lagyan natin subscript at B. Ito yung at A, at A, ito yung at A. So when the instrument is set up at B, we have 1.449 minus 0.938. The result is 0.511, which is, 511 meters, which is not the same as the difference in elevation when the instrument is at A. So therefore, the instrument is not calibrated, no? Kasi di sila magkapareho. So, kung ganito, first, pwede natin i-take na lang yung average, then yun yung i-take natin sa difference in elevation. So, pwede natin sabihin na DE is just the average of these two, 0.549 plus 511, sorry. So, if we calculate that, 0.5 times 0.549 plus 0.511. Okay, so that's 0.530 meter. So that's our difference in elevation, ang average. Ang average. Now, ganito mangyayari. If we introduce an error, so, syempre, yung line of sight is inclined na. So, let's take the error as, the error in the instrument as inclining upward yung line of sight. Hindi siya perfectly horizontal, medyo naka-incline siya upward. So, if you take that, yung magiging setup natin, magiging setup ng instrument, that will be this. So, we'll assume na nag-incline siya ng ganyan. Exaggerated lang ha, pero di naman ganun kalaki yung difference. Okay, sige. Medyo ilapit natin. Konti lang. Ganyan. So, it's not perfectly horizontal. Nag-incline na siya. So, ito yung mababasa natin with error na dito. So, yung mababasa natin is hanggang dito. Ayan. Yan yung value na 2.054 is that value. Okay, is actually that value. Kasi nakaslant yung line of sight, then yan yung nabasa. Same din dito sa kabila. Sa second situation, second setup. Nag-incline siya, it will also have this error. Ayan, so yung nabasa natin, etong distance na to is actually hanggang dyan. Dyan yung nabasa. Okay. I'll point that ha. Ito yung nabasang distance na 0.938. And we have this error. Now, the distance between A and B, of course, the horizontal distance is the same. So, fixed siya. So, it's a constant, fixed. So, if you have the same inclination, kasi we are using the same instrument na erroneous, so yung error niya na sa angle is the same sa error niya dito sa angle. Because it's the same instrument na erroneous. So therefore, if pareho yung distance niya or almost the same. By the way, this is set up very near. So eto siya na distance that is negligible na. Kasi we are assuming that this distance is too far. Okay? So if we assume that this distance to this distance is the same, so therefore eto din the same, 'di ba? That's if we have a right triangle, if this distance is this ito na lang. If we have this right triangle, kung pareho sila ng distance horizontally or ito, yung base, and the same sila ng angle, so it means the same din sila dito. Diba? So that is the same for these two right triangles here. Okay? Now, if we consider the first setup, for the first setup, or when the instrument is set up at A, this distance, ito, is equal to, ito yung horizontal line natin, no? To this distance, right? So, mathematically, that would be DE plus 1.505, that is equal to this distance minus E. Kasi ito yung distance na pareho dito. Okay? So, that is 2.054 minus the error. Okay. Now, for the second setup, we have ito yung horizontal line natin, di ba? Horizontal level. So, this distance is the same as this distance. So, that means, pwede nating unahin yung dito. Okay. That means DE plus 0.938. Ito siya. DE plus 0.938. Then minus E. I-minus natin to para dito na yung level natin. Minus E is equal to, of course, this distance. which is 1.449. So we have two equations with two unknowns. Ito, yung una nating solution is for, di pa natin introduce yung error. We just took the average of the two. So ito naman, if we consider now the error and we'll take or we'll solve simultaneously the difference in elevation as well as the error. Sorry, ito pala, as well as the error. Para ma-solve natin yung both letter B and letter C. Okay? And ma-correct din natin yung sa letter A. Okay? So, solving this simultaneously, there are many ways of solving this. Pwedeng gamitin na lang natin calculator or pwede gamitan natin ng calcio. Or substitution na lang. So, by substitution, eto, DE, para makuha na natin yung difference in elevation. So, that would be DE plus 0.938 minus 1.449, that's equal to E. So I just transpose this here, then ito there. Then I'll substitute this E to here. So therefore, DE plus 1.505, that's equal to 2.054 minus E, which is DE, plus 0.938 minus 1.449. Okay, then we can now solve for DE. So using our calculator, we'll have DE, so let's take this as X, plus 1.505, that is equal to 2.054 minus DE plus 0.938 minus 1.449. So the difference in elevation is pareho pa rin. That's 0.530 meters. Now, using this data, na-affirm lang natin dito yung average nila. Using this data, we'll solve for the error. Okay? So, you can just use any of these equations. Of these two. Ito. So, I'll just use the first one. So, we'll have 0.530 plus 1.505. That's equal to 2.054 minus E. And solving for the error, that would be 2.054. So, flip natin. Minus 0.530 minus 1.505. So we have an error of 0.019 meters. And since positive yung lumabas, therefore, our assumption that the error is inclined upward is correct. Kasi if the actual error is inclining down or inclined downward, that lalabas sa computation that the answer is negative. Because opposite ng direction ng ating na-assume. Okay, so these are the answers. Okay, let's take this next problem, problem 26. We have in the two-peg test of a dumpy level using alternate method. So we have another method, an alternate method. The following observations are taken. So the points of observation this time is a point M. So near M tayo nag-set up. And also a point P. Okay, so we have these observations at point A and point B. So according to this problem, point M is equidistant from both A and B, while P is 2.5 meters away from A along the extension line of AB and 79.27 meters from B. Okay? So, illustrate muna natin yung situation. So, suppose this is the ground level. Let's assume na lang din na mas mataas yung point A or the location of point A is much higher than point B because probably that is the same dito sa previous problem. Now, let's take this as our point A. The location of our point A and this the location of our point B. So take this as A and take this as B. Now, first, the instrument is set up near M, and M is equidistant from both A and B. So in between A and B, or the distance, the horizontal distance of A and B, is the location of M. So let's take this point as M, which is right in between A and B. Okay? So ito ang location ng instrument, and this is our line of sight. Ito yung horizontal line of sight, the correct line of sight. But because of the error, let us assume again that the error is inclining up. Assume tayo na the error is inclining up. So, ito yung error natin. And you would agree, although not obvious sa drawing natin, ayusin natin drawing. So, let me move this para medyo mas equidistant siya. I think yan, mas nasa gitna na, no? Okay. So, we'll assume that the line of sight is inclining up. So, ayan yung mababasa. And also here, ito yung mababasa. Not drawn properly, but okay na. Pagpasensya na lang. So, ito siya is E. This is also E because, again, this distance to this and this distance are the same. Okay, equidistant sila. Then, the error syempre is the same naman. Same yung error nila. So, therefore, the magnitude of E are still the same at both ends or both sides. Okay? So, yun yung setup natin sa point M. Then, we have another setup at point P. And P is 2.5 meters from A along the extension of line AB. So, the extension of line AB is this. So, 2.5 from A. So, that means, taasan na lang natin yung instrument. So, let's say, nandito siya. Ay, pangit ng drawing. There. And let me extend this more. And, of course, ito yung magiging horizontal na level niya. Ito dapat ideally, yan. But because of the erroneous line of sight, mag-slant siya ng konti. So, ito na siya. Okay? So, if you notice naman, in this case, the farther it is from the point of observation, the bigger the error will be. Ito siya. Dito, konti pa lang because it's much nearer. Then dito, mas malaki na. So, in this case, we'll call this, okay, let's zoom in a bit. Let's call that error 1. And let's call this as error 2. Ayan yung mga setup natin, okay? Now, lagyan natin ng mga value. Let's start with point A. I mean, sa point M na observation. So, we have observations at A and B. And we have that. So, sa point A, yung basa was, ito na lang. Siyempre, yung sa error, yung mababasa, di ba? So, that distance. Ito na, ganito yung ko na lang. So, this distance is 0.296. Okay. And this distance sa B is 0.910. Okay. And of course, kalimutan natin yung difference in elevation between the two levels or the 2 points. So, ito, this distance is our difference in elevation. Okay, kulang pa ng mga horizontal distance. Let us label this na lang. So, from here, this is again point P. From here to here. Okay, that is 2.50 meters. And, sabi, it's 79.27 meters away from B. So from here up to B, it's 79.27 meters. Okay. So letter A, determine the true difference in elevation between points A and B. Okay. So the best thing to solve the difference in elevation is we'll just use first this one, diba? Because pareho lang naman yung error dito tsaka dito. So, maka-cancel out lang siya. Look, if we have this distance equal to this distance, because ito yung level line niya, okay, level line niya dito. So, this distance is equal to this distance. That means DE, I'll write it here, bigger ink, DE plus 0.9296, okay, this one, minus the error, that is equal to this, which is 0.910 minus the error. Okay, so this minus the error, so that would be this distance, and we could just cancel out negative E, so we could now solve for DE. So the difference in elevation is just 0.910 minus 0.9296, and calculator, we have 0.910 minus 0.296. The result is 0.16, 0.614 meters. So that is our difference in elevation. Okay, let us check. Okay, next question is determine the error in the rod reading at B with the instrument still set up at P. Okay, rod reading at B. So that would be this rod reading. Or how about, or I mean this error, how about if we'll just solve both na lang, E1 and E2. Okay, so let's solve that. So if we take a look at this triangle, we have a similar triangle, diba? Let us exaggerate that here. Ito, dito natin i-drawing. Now, this is E1 and this is E2. And this distance is, ayan, 2.50, and this distance is 79.27. So, by ratio proportion, dito na lang, E1 is to 2.50. That's proportional to E2 as is to 79.27. Yeah, so that's a relationship between E1 and E2. Now, based on the rod reading, the reading at point A, eto na, point A when the instrument is at P is 1.563. So that means eto, from here jud, eto jud siya, up to here, that is 1.563. And the rod reading at B, that means eto mismo, eto, up to here, that's 2.140. Ayun. And using again this level line, we know that this distance is equal to this distance, right? And that would be DE, let me use this, DE plus 1.563 minus error 1 is equal to this reading, which is 2.140 minus error 2. And we have a value for error 1, for the difference in elevation, which is 0.614. So plus 1.563 minus error 1. And we are trying to solve for error 2, no, yung specifically yung tanong sa letter B. So I'll change error 1 in terms of error 2. So error 1 is just equal to this, right? Ayan, 250 times 2.50 di times error 2. So that would be 2.50 error 2 over 79.27. Then that is equal to 2.140 minus error 2. So we only have E2 as our unknown. Okay, then solve na. So I think we can now solve for E2. So by calculator again, let's open this. Okay, let me copy that. We have 0.614 plus 1.563 minus 2.50 error 2 over 79.27, that is equal to 2.140 minus error 2. Then shift solve. The answer is negative 0.038 meters or negative 38 centimeters. So what does that mean? Negative yung lumabas na error. Therefore, the line of sight of the level is inclined downward. Kasi yung assumption natin is upward, di ba? But the result of our computation is negative. So therefore, we got the wrong assumption. It is actually downward. Okay, so if you solve this problem again, then you use a downward line of sight, then you still solve it geometrically dito sa figure, you will arrive at an answer, the same answer pero positive na. Okay, and so this is now our answer. Our answer is 0.038 meters inclining downward.